What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Thursday, May 22nd. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and our Western Conference Finals game between the Timberwolves and the Thunder. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Wednesday, not looking the hottest, but not a complete disaster. We've got a few games still live. Now, we started off the day pretty bad. We had the under there in the Houston-Tampa Bay game. A 5-run 8th inning is what did us in. So that was pretty unfortunate. It looked like we were going to be okay, but didn't come through in the end. We hit the Mariners at minus 150. That was a 6-5 win. Seattle taking advantage of that White Sox bullpen, so that all makes sense and checks out. Now, we had the Twins finally had a game actually get played in that series at minus 145. That was a 5-1 loss. Unfortunately, Paddock was decent, but Williams was better, and the Cleveland offense finally woke up, and the Twins bullpen was pretty bad, much worse than they've been here recently. So that was annoying. We've still got Arizona plus 115. That one's live. A scoreless game going into the top of the third inning. We had the Padres at plus 126 as our dog of the day. The Padres are officially banned. I don't know when they're coming back. It'll definitely happen, but it's not happening anytime soon. They just lost 14-0 yesterday against Toronto, so that's a disaster. Now, our lock of the day is still looking very, very good. We get the Phillies up 9-3 there in the top of the 7th inning. They're currently threatening, so things are looking very good for cashing another lock of the day, which has been absolutely insane over the course of that bet. It's been on fire. So hopefully we can cash and win there, guys. But regardless, let's go ahead, hop into these games. We've got a few games, not a full slate here on Thursday, but first up, we've got the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Rangers come into this game 25-25 on the year, losers of 3 in a row. They've actually lost both of the first 2 games of this series. Obviously, losing their catcher early with a hand injury is not something that would be very helpful. They're going to be handing the ball in this game to Nathan Eovaldi, who's been lights out this year, 4-2, a 1.61 ERA. He hasn't given up an earned run over any of his last 2 starts, and he's given up a grand total of 2 earned runs over his last 5 starts combined, 3 of which have been wins for the Rangers. He has been just so freaking lights out, guys. It has been crazy. So loving what we're seeing from Eovaldi coming into this game. I don't necessarily expect him to have a ton of trouble here with the Yankees. Not a team that he's faced yet this season, but he's had good outings against some pretty good offenses, so I'm not too alarmed about that. I am, however, getting a little bit more worried about this Rangers bullpen. A 4.02 bullpen ERA puts them in the bottom half of the majors, and this team, looking to thrive based on their pitching staff, needs to have a better bullpen. Now, the offense, that's where the problems are. It's not looking great. Over the course of the year, they're 26th in the majors in runs scored, 26th in the majors as a team in batting average, batting .227. That's not great. That is not great. They've scored 3, 2, 3, 5, and 3 runs over their last few games. This is not an elite offensive team. Now, they could come alive here a little bit. I think that's due to happen eventually, but is it going to be in this game? Maybe that's a big ask. We'll have to wait and see, guys, as they go up against the Yankees here in Game 3 of this series. Now, the Yankees have won 3 straight. Obviously, that walk-off home run there by Dominguez, pretty cool stuff for the Yankees. A heartbreaker there for the Rangers. Now, the Yankees handing the ball in this game to Carlos Rodon, who's 5-3 this season, a 3.17 ERA. He's fresh off a very good start against the Mets. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. His start for that, he struggled against the Athletics. Start for that, very good against the Padres. He's been pretty solid this year. He's had some hiccup starts mixed in there, absolutely no question about that. But overall, I don't think we feel bad about Carlos Rodon on the mound. The Yankees bullpen, well, it's not looking as dominant as it looked at some points early in the season. Still looking pretty good, holding steady at around a 3.43 bullpen ERA. Definitely not the end of the world there. The offense is where the Yankees hang their hats, and well, it hasn't been necessarily on fire recently. I mean, 4, 5, 8, 2, and 6 runs over their last few is not terrible. Judge still batting over 400 somehow. They're the top on-base percentage team in the majors. They're the top slugging percentage team as well. This is a crazy, crazy strong offense, guys. There's no way around it. The Yankees, probably the scariest team with the most scary hitters that you can face on any given day in the major leagues. So that is a problem here if you're a Rangers fan. Now, the Rangers are big underdogs in this game. The Rangers are plus 135. The Yankees are minus 160. We had a total of 7.5 in this one. The Rangers only 8-14 on the road. They are 12-9-1 to the under on the road. The Yankees 16-9 at home, 14 and 11 to the under at home. So a couple plays make sense to me in this game. And first up, I think under 7.5, certainly live. The trends back it up. Very good starting pitching. Now the bullpen situation doesn't get me thrilled, so maybe this could be a no-run first inning spot as well. I could be talking to that, but I think under 7.5 is live. I also think the Rangers here at plus 135 are very live in this game. They could have won in game 2, no doubt about that. Putting Eovaldi out there on the mound, he is obviously a monster. He could come through for them and shut out the Yankees over 5, 6, maybe even 7 innings. That does leave some work for the bullpen, but if the Rangers can get on the board here against Rodon, I think they've got a very good chance to win this game. So on a short slate here, we have to consider the Rangers at plus 135 as a potential dog of the day. Next on the dock, we're looking at the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Padres are on our banned list, guys. It's not a very long list. We don't like to ban teams, but the Padres are just flat out too bad right now. They're on a 5-game losing streak. We took them as our dog of the day yesterday, and they lost 14-0. So they are banned. They're handing the ball in this game to Steven Kolek, who's 2-1, a 2.33 ERA. He's making his 4th start of the season. The first 2 looked very, very good. He even had a complete game outing there against the Rockies. But he followed that up back on the 16th with a 5-inning, 8-hit, 5-earned run loss there against Seattle Mariners. So we'll see what version of we get of him in this game. Obviously going against the Blue Jays, probably not the scariest opponent, but I'm a little bit worried about him, obviously coming off of such a bad start. The Padres bullpen is looking worse and worse as the season goes on, a 3.56 bullpen ERA. It does not look anything like what we were seeing from them in the early goings. And this offense is absolutely bottoming out, guys. They've scored 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 5, 6, and 5 runs over their last few. So let's count that up, guys. That is a grand total of 3 runs over their last 5 games. Yikes. That's embarrassing. This offense looking atrocious, guys. There's really no excuse for it. I mean, they're 16th in the majors in runs scored. They're still top 10 in both on-base percentage and batting average, but no one is hitting the ball for them right now, and I mean no one. So we'll see if they can bounce back here, turn things around going up against the Blue Jays, who've now won 2 in a row in this series. They're hitting the ball to Bowden Francis, who comes in this game 2-6 on the season, a 5.63 ERA. Not having a great time. He gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs in a 5-4 loss there against the Tigers his last time out. Got knocked around a little bit by Seattle. He didn't take the loss in that game though because the Blue Jays gave him plenty of run support, so he'll take that for sure. But overall, it has not been an easy road this season for Bowden Francis. So we'll see what he can do here against the Padres. Not a team that he's faced yet this season, but I'm not necessarily expecting miracles from him in terms of the bullpen situation for Toronto. It's getting better and better, all the way down to a 3.76 bullpen ERA. Pretty respectable at this point, especially for a bullpen that started off the season so bad. And the offense, while they're coming off a 14-run game, which is not the norm for this team at all, they've been maybe finding a little bit of something here recently. I mean, they're 23rd in the majors in runs scored. They're 12th in batting average, though, and 22nd in slugging percentage. So not really the kind of offense that you would get super jazzed up about. Looking at the numbers for this game, guys, we see the Padres at minus 115, the Blue Jays at minus 105. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Padres 11-11 on the road. They're also 11-11 to the over/under on the road. Toronto 14-12 at home, 14-12 to the over at home. We have no choice, guys. The Padres are on the banned list. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays to find a way to win this game. I don't necessarily love this spot. It's going nowhere near the pinned comment, but there is absolutely zero chance you're talking me into taking the Padres here anytime soon. I'm going to need to see a 4 or 5 game sample size where they start playing like they're a real baseball team before I have any interest in backing them again. Quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video and every day's video. That is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row, and it's gotten off to a very good start here in the early goings. It's not even that early of goings. It's just like settling into a steady upward trajectory, guys. Things have been going very well over there. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and will mostly not match what you see here from me in the videos, as I am not the premium capper for MLB over at StumpTheSpread.com. We've got a guy with way more experience than me, a lot more years in MLB than I have, and he has some very sophisticated tools and algorithms he uses. A crazy amount of work goes into our premium picks for every sport every single day. Also, you definitely want to get over to StumpTheSpread.com, even if you're not looking to sign up for a premium package yet. Get over there, sign up for a free account. We just need your name and your email address, and you will be on the list for our daily email. You get a free pick, at least one, every day straight to your inbox. And you can get all kinds of interesting stuff in those emails, guys. Parlays, definitely. There's a good chance there'll be some like niche betting information like golf, NASCAR, all kinds of crazy stuff. Definitely very worthwhile to sign up for that. It's free information straight to your inbox. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member each and every month. Actually, we've gotten up to enough channel members. We'll be giving away 2 pieces of Stump the Spread merch every month. We'll be doing our giveaway here next month. We just had a giveaway yesterday, so if you think you might have had a chance to win that, if you're a channel member, guys, check back and see if you were one of the winners, and then let me know down in the comments, because we have not yet gotten reached out to by either of our members who ended up winning those free pieces of merch. So get in there, get in the comments. If you're interested in signing up for a channel membership, do that, and let's hop back into these games, guys. And next up, we're looking at a pretty interesting one. Maybe not that interesting. Maybe that's a lie. We've got the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Phillies and the Rockies are actually currently playing right now, with the Phillies up 9-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. So they're our lock of the day. We're really hoping they can come through for us. That would be a 6th straight win there for the Phillies. So they're cruising along, looking pretty good. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Ranger Suarez, who's 2-0 this year, a 5.09 ERA. His first start coming back to the big leagues didn't look that hot against the Diamondbacks, but then a great outing there against Cleveland. In his last time out, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs allowed there against the Pirates. So not dominant stuff, but okay. We'll see what he can do as he rounds into form here. But obviously coming off a great year last year, I'm hoping for good stuff from him this season. Now, the Phillies bullpen has been a problem. A 4.57 bullpen ERA, clearly something to keep an eye on. It has not been great, but it's looked maybe a little bit better, but not dominant. Not dominant. No lead really feels that safe if you're betting on the Phillies. Now, offensively, they're putting up some leads, guys. They've scored 7, 9, 1, 5, and 8 runs over their last few. Their current game, they've already put up a 9-piece, so things are looking very good. Schwarber up to 17 home runs. Trey Turner batting over 300. Like, a lot of positive things for this offense. They're actually the 8th highest scoring team in terms of runs scored. They're the 3rd best batting average team in the majors, 8th best in slugging percentage. The positives just keep on rolling for this offense. It is very, very good. No major shock there. So looking at their opponent for this game, the Rockies, it's kind of been the opposite, guys. They're 8-40 on the year, having a horrendous season. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to German Marquez, who's 1-6 and 8.78 ERA. His last time out, he got shelled by the Diamondbacks. 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs. 5 of them were earned, and a wild 14-12 win there for the Rockies. That was that Arizona collapse. But we've seen him have some decent starts. He had a great start against the Padres, for instance, but overall, he's been very bad this season, no doubt about that. So the bullpen situation for the Rockies this year is drastically improved, but a 4.54 bullpen ERA is still pretty bad. The offense is looking like it's definitely going to give, it could be the worst offense in the majors. That's not beyond the realm of possibility. They're 2nd to last in on-base percentage, 3rd to last in runs scored. They have managed to put up some runs here against the Phillies, but not a lot, and definitely not enough to give them much of a chance to win these games. So, looking at the numbers here, it's no major shock to see the Phillies as massive favorites, but -300 feels like a little bit much. The Rockies are +245. We've got a total of 11 in this game. The Phillies are 13-10 on the road, 14-8-1 to the under on the road. The Rockies 5-18 at home. That's an MLB worst mark at home. They're 12-10-1 to the over at home. I don't even know about this one, guys. I mean, maybe shade a bit towards the over, but this is way too expensive. I could wrap my head around taking the Phillies at -1.5, but the price tag on that's not even good enough to get me super interested, even on a short slate here. So this is mostly a stay away spot for me. If you're looking for like a zero value lock, you could maybe take the Phillies just straight up win, but that's not even feeling that great at the moment. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. The Angels and the A's are playing right now with the A's down 3-2 in the top of the 3rd inning, so it looks like they're buckling in for a pretty high-scoring game. The Angels are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Tyler Anderson, who's been excellent this season, 2-1, a 3.04 ERA. The Angels are actually 3-2 over his last 5 starts, and his last start wasn't even very good. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed there against the Dodgers in an 11-9 win there for the Angels. So he finds himself in a bounce-back spot against a Athletics team that isn't exactly killing it right now. I mean, they're having a decent game currently, I suppose, but definitely not a team that's been having a great time. Now, the Angels' bullpen is a huge problem. A 6.82 bullpen ERA is worst in the majors and not showing much signs of improvement. The offense has come alive. 7, 4, 6, 11, and 6 runs over their last few is drastically better than what we've seen from them most of the year. Trout is apparently getting close to returning. I don't think he's coming back for this game. The Angels are last in the majors in on-base percentage, but they're top 20 in batting average and 11th in slugging percentage. So they're a team at this point, it feels like, that can put up a few runs. So we'll see what they do here against the Athletics, who come into this game, obviously, leading in the top of the third, but they have lost, what is it up to, 7 in a row, so maybe that losing streak will get snapped here, but we'll see. They're hitting the ball to Luis Severino, who's 1-4, a 4.22 ERA. Now, he's coming off of a very good start against the Giants. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs allowed. Probably his best start of the season, as he has not gotten off to the best start here in his new home there pitching for the A's. So we'll see what he does, see what the bullpen does for the Athletics. It's not very good. A 5.62 bullpen ERA leaves an awful lot of room there for improvement. The offense for the Athletics has not been great recently. Now, it's been good over the course of the year. I mean, they're looking maybe even slightly above average this season at the plate, but 5, 3, 2, 0, 1, and 2 runs over their last few shows me a picture of a slumping offense. So we'll see what they can get done, but I'm not expecting miracles, at least against Tyler Anderson. Maybe they can put up some runs, though, against that Angels bullpen. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Angels are plus 135. The Athletics are minus 160. We've got a total of 10 out there. The Angels, 13-15 on the road, 16-12 to the over on the road. The Athletics, 8-15 at home, 15-8 to the over at home. So I guess just given these two bullpens, we have to think about the over, but I think both starters are good. So maybe you take under in the first 5, over in the full game, but I'm not too interested in that, guys. I am taking a look here at the Angels at plus 135, though. I did like what I have seen from Severino, especially in his last start, but Anderson in a bounce back spot. I'm expecting very good stuff from him. And at plus 135, this has a chance to be our dog of the day, especially here on an extremely short Thursday slate. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. The Guardians kind of messed things up for us yesterday, beating the Twins 5-1. They're only 26-22 on the year, handing the ball in this game to Tanner Bybee, who's 3-4 this season, a 4.06 ERA. He's coming off a pretty bad start against the Twins, though. 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs allowed, 4 of them were earned. Gave a couple home runs in that game as well. Just not having his sharpest stuff in that one. Now, over the course of the year, he's looked very, very good. We'll see what he can do here against the Tigers. Obviously not an easy out for anyone, but he's in a little bit of a bounce back spot after a little bit of a rough outing. So we'll see if that happens for him. Now, the Cleveland bullpen, not good. A 4.06 bullpen ERA has him in the bottom half of the majors. And, I mean, they are coming off of a good game, but I don't know how much credit you can really give them. So we'll see what happens there. Now, the offense has been a big part of the struggles for this team. Kyle Manzardo got off to a great start to the year, but that has faded aggressively here down the stretch. Kwan's been fading a little bit there, down the stretch this season. They're 23rd in the majors in runs scored, 21st in slugging percentage. Just not a team that's putting up a ton of runs. So we'll see what they can do here against the Tigers, who come into this game 33-17 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 there at St. Louis. So kind of doing some good stuff there against the Cardinals. Now they're going to be handing the ball in this game to an ex-Cardinal in Jack Flaherty. He's 2-5 this season, a 4.44 ERA. He's fresh off a very good start there at Toronto, though. 5 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs in a game we eventually saw the Tigers win 5-4. So nice to see him kind of get back on track. He's had a bit of a rough season, even struggling against some pretty mediocre offensive teams, but maybe this is the start of Flaherty getting back in shape because, I mean, the guy has very, very good stuff. Anytime I see him struggle, I'm like, what is going on with him? So seems like he's going to be okay. Now, the Tigers' bullpen has been more than okay all year long. They're currently 5th best in the majors, a 3.19 bullpen ERA. Not going to be complaining about that at all. And the offense has been consistently pretty good this year. Now, they've scored 5, 4, 3, and 1 runs over their last few games. So not even cover off the ball currently, but they're still 4th in the majors in runs scored, 7th in the majors in batting average. They're 7th in the majors, also getting on base at a 330 clip. Like, this is a good offense. I don't think we're going to see them struggle for too much longer. Maybe they have a good game here against Tanner Bybee. I don't think it's impossible. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Guardians are plus 115. The Tigers are minus 135. We've got a total of 8. Cleveland, 12-14 on the road. 14-9-3 to the over on the road. Detroit, 17-5 at home. That's an MLB best mark at home. They're 11-8-3 to the under at home. I'm not too interested in the total in this game. I would maybe kick around the idea of an under, I suppose, but not even enough to really mention. I do think this is a good spot to take the Tigers at minus 135 at home, though. They're playing really, really well. They've made it pretty clear over the course of the year they're the better team than the Guardians. Is Flaherty a better starter than Bybee? That might be a little bit of a push, but the Tigers' bullpen is definitely much better there than the Guardians, so definitely give me a look here at the Tigers at minus 135. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Brewers are fresh off of winning 2 out of 3 there against the Orioles, so very good stuff taking advantage of a poor opponent, but at 24-26 on the year, they are not having the season that they had imagined. Now, we don't have a confirmed starter here for the Brewers, which kind of paints a picture of where the Brewers are at as a entire pitching staff. It's been pretty rough. They only have like maybe one and a half starters they can really depend on. Their bullpen's been pretty terrible. A 4.61 bullpen ERA is a huge weakness for this team, and with not a lot of bullpen, not a lot of rotation strength, it's concerning to see the offense flounder as well, guys. They're down to 14th in the majors in runs scored. They're 24th in the MLB in batting average, batting .230 as a team. They're 28th in slugging percentage. Slugging a .351 clip is not going to get the job done. So not feeling too hyped up here about the Brewers. Now, they're going on the road to take on a team that's had an even worse time this year in the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 17-33 on the year, but they've won their last 2 in a row, taking down the Reds, in 2 out of 3 in that series, but not putting up a ton of offense. We'll see what they can do in this game. Now, they're handing the ball in this one to Mike Burrows, who last season in the big leagues was 1-0, a 2.70 ERA, but he's being recalled here from AAA Indianapolis to make this start here on Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. He's been great in the minors this year, a 2.40 ERA, 39 strikeouts, 9 walks across 30 innings. Those are pretty good numbers. So we'll see if that can stand up here against the big leagues, the big league bats. He's only 25 years old, so I'm expecting a little bit of inconsistency, but he's already had a taste of the majors last year, so maybe he'll just hit the ground running. And he's going up against the Brewers, not a team that's on fire at the plate. So we'll see how that goes, see if the Pirates' bullpen can improve. A 4.45 bullpen ERA, definitely not a strength, and the offense has been terrible. Maybe the worst in the majors, guys. They're last in the majors in runs scored. They are last in slugging percentage. They're second to last in batting average. They really have nobody off to a particularly great start to this season. It's been pretty brutal out there for Pirates fans. So we'll see if they can keep the good times rolling here with another win. The odds makers have the Brewers as favorites at -120. The Pirates are +102. We've got a total of 9. Milwaukee, 9-16 on the road. 14-9-2 to the under on the road. The Pirates 11-14 at home, 13-11-1 to the under at home. I think under 9 is extremely live in this game. Neither team can hit the ball very well. Obviously, both bullpens suck. I actually like Mike Burrows out there on the mound a good amount. The Brewers not having a confirmed starter is concerning, but I do think 9 is an awfully lot of runs to expect out of these two offenses in this game. So definitely give me a good hard look at that under. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Braves come into this game fresh off having a game postponed, so keep an eye on this, but it looks like they're going to be handing the ball to A.J. Smith-Shawver, who's 3-2 this year, a 2.33 ERA. The young 22-year-old has been looking very comfortable on the big league mound, guys. He's coming off a start against Washington where he was lights out, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Walked 2, struck out 6 in a win there for the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves are 5-0 over his last 5 starts. Pretty crazy stuff to see out of a 22-year-old. So he's out there doing his thing, no doubt about it. Now the Braves bullpen may be showing some signs of improvement, but a 3.78 bullpen ERA doesn't get me super jazzed up. The offense has been not great. Not great this year at all for the Atlanta Braves, guys. They're 17th in runs scored and 14th in batting average. Maybe they're starting to improve a little bit, but 3, 10, 6, 2, 5, I don't know, just not an offense that I'm super in love with. So we'll see what they can do here against the Nationals. They come into this game playing really well, winning 4 in a row, including game 1 of this series. They're 22-27 this season, handing the ball to Trevor Williams, who's 2-5 on the year, a 5.91 ERA. Now, his last start was against the Atlanta Braves, and it was not a good one. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned. It was a 5-2 loss there for Atlanta, and he's also struggled in his last 4 starts in a row at least, struggling against Atlanta, St. Louis, Cincinnati, and the Mets. So not expecting good things for Trevor Williams, and I'm expecting terrible things from the Nationals bullpen. A 6.41 bullpen ERA, among the worst in all of the major leagues this season. So we'll see. The offense has been doing some good things. CJ Abrams making some questionable decisions out there on the base pass, but he's given them a nice boost since coming back. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored. They're 18th in batting average, but are they really going to have a great time against A.J. Smith-Shawver? I don't really see it, guys. So looking at the numbers here, the Braves are -150. The Nationals are +125. We got totals out there of 8.5 or 8. Atlanta 9-17 on the road, 13-11-2 to the under on the road. Washington 11-12 at home, 13-9-1 to the over at home. Guys, we're going to be taking the Atlanta Braves here on the road. I know they're not a great road team, but I'm not that scared of the Nationals, even though they've been playing well recently. I think A.J. Smith-Shawver has the right medicine for that. So give me the Braves here at -150. It could end up being a regular play. It could end up being our lock of the day. It's definitely a possibility. Not a lot of options out there for lock of the day, but I think A.J. Smith-Shawver going up against a team he's already dominated once this season certainly has a chance to be that lock. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Orioles come into this game fresh off a rare win. They snapped that 8-game skid there with a win over the Brewers. Now, 16-32 on the year, still a disaster. They're handing the ball in this game to Cade Povich, who's 1-3 this season, a 5.23 ERA. The young 25-year-old maybe figured it out a little bit in his last start, having a good outing against the Nationals, but 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. I'm not going to say he shut him down necessarily, and we saw Baltimore lose that game 4-3. So we'll see what he can get done here against the Red Sox. I'm not expecting miracles. This has not been one of my favorite starters. Now, the last time he faced Boston was the very first start of the season back on the 31st of March. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, in an 8-5 win there for these Baltimore Orioles. So we'll see if he can get similar run support, but that seems like a stretch. Now the Orioles bullpen, terrible, a 4.88 bullpen ERA. Obviously that is very, very bad. And the offense has scored 8, 2, 4, 4, 6, 3, 0, and 6 runs over their last few. Maybe they're starting to throw the ball a little bit better, or hit the ball a little bit better. They're still only 25th in the majors in runs scored and batting at .230 as a team. This is not anything close to what we were seeing from the Orioles last year. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Red Sox, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Mets. Probably pretty annoying to lose the last game of that series 5-1. Throwing the ball in this game to Lucas Giolito, who's 1-1 this year, a 7.08 ERA. He's coming off a very bad start against the Braves. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, including 3 home runs allowed there. It was a 7-6 win there for the Red Sox, but it was not Giolito's fault. He's had some good outings. He's kind of been alternating good and bad outings, but that feels all a little bit sketchy here. And the Red Sox bullpen, though, it's showing drastic signs of improvement, all the way down to a 3.62 bullpen ERA. Much better than what we were seeing from this team over the early goings. Now, the offense obviously falling off a little bit, 1, 2, 3, and 4 runs over the last few games. I think they're due to have a little bit of a bust out performance, and going up against Cade Povich definitely seems like a good candidate. Over the course of the year, the Red Sox are the 6th highest run scoring team in the majors. They're 9th in batting average, batting .253 as a team. They're 10th in on base percentage and 5th in slugging percentage. So they need to be putting up some big crooked numbers on the regular here, and that just really hasn't been consistently the case for the Red Sox. So look at the numbers for this game. The Orioles are -104. The Red Sox are -112. We've got a total of 8.5. Baltimore 8-17 on the year on the road. They're 15-9-1 to the under on the road. Boston 14-12 at home. 14-10-2 to the under at home. I'm going to be leaning towards the Red Sox here at home. I don't love Giolito on the mound. I like the Red Sox bullpen way more than I like the Orioles bullpen. I like the Red Sox offense way more than I like the Orioles offense. So the Red Sox at -112. I'll be honest, guys, it's got a chance to end up in the pinned comment on this short slate because I just think they're the far better team, and I don't ever want to be backing Cade Povich. In our last MLB game, before we hop over and look at our one NBA game for the night, we got the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. Now, the Mariners come into this game 28-20 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. Losing that one game to the White Sox 1-0, pretty embarrassing stuff. They had so many chances in that game. It was crazy, but we'll see what they can do here, handing the ball to George Kirby, who's going to be coming off the IL there. He was dealing with that shoulder issue. He's back, and he's coming off a very good season a year ago. So I'm expecting good stuff from George Kirby here. This young 27-year-old, apparently fully healthy. I am expecting him to be pretty good. I'm not expecting any real struggles here from him. Right out of the gate, I think he's going to be good. The bullpen for Seattle has been very solid this year. A 3.35 bullpen ERA has them in the top 8 in the majors. No major notes there. That's pretty good stuff. And the offense has taken a huge step forward. Obviously, getting shut out that one game against the White Sox looks terrible, but that has not been the norm for this team this season whatsoever. Over the course of the year, they're actually 11th in the majors in runs scored, 21st in batting average, but 11th in on-base percentage, 12th in slugging percentage. This is a very, very reasonable offensive team this year, especially considering how atrocious they were at the plate a year ago. So big steps forward there. Well played there by the Mariners, entire franchise to get some offense in the door. Now, they're taking on the Astros, who just lost 2 out of 3 there at Tampa Bay. They're 25-24 on the year, handing the ball to Lance McCullers Jr., who's 0-1, a 7.88 ERA. Now, he's been all over the place, I'm be honest. Very good start to his year, 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed against the White Sox. Then couldn't make it out of the first inning against the Reds and got destroyed. Then his last time out at the Rangers, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Neither one was earned. I'm just not sold on him yet. I mean, this dude's 31 years old. He should be a little bit better than this, you would think, but that has not necessarily been the case. Now, if the bullpen has to come in and save him, the Houston bullpen's been elite. A 2.86 bullpen ERA. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. That's second best in the majors. But do they really have the offense to back up, even if they do have a good pitching, pitching start in general from, both parts of the pitching staff combined? We'll see. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored and 23rd in slugging percentage. They've scored 4-2, 4-1, 6-0. Like, this is just not an elite level offense. So looking at the numbers here, the Mariners are minus 135. The Astros are plus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. Seattle 15-9 on the road. That's actually an MLB best road mark. They're 13-11 to the over on the road. Houston 15-9 at home, 14-10 to the under at home. I'm not backing Lance McCullers Jr. here, guys. You're not going to talk me into it. I'd way rather back George Kirby here and the Mariners pitching staff in general. The Mariners bats have also looked better than the Astros bats most of this season. So go ahead and give me the Mariners here at minus 135. And I think this is a very solid play. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves going on the road here to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, the Timberwolves came into this series looking pretty good, but not off to the best start to the series, losing game one, 114-88. But a game that was littered with a whole bunch of flopping, guys. It was pretty bad out there. Now, Julius Randle had a great game, as kind of predicted by our prop play there. He went 5 of 6 from 3, 9 of 13 from the field, overall had 28 points. So a very, very good game from him, but Anthony Edwards couldn't get going. The Thunder were allowed to play very physical defense against him, completely different than what the Timberwolves were allowed to do against SGA, someone they barely couldn't even, touch, and it was a foul. So we'll see if things change up a little bit in this game, obviously. Now, the Timberwolves didn't do terrible on the boards, but got very little contribution from anybody coming off the bench. DiVincenzo, Nikhil Alexander-Walker was bad. Naz Reid was terrible, 0 of 7 from 3, 1 of 11 from the field. Like, they just didn't have anything going in that game. Now, will they be able to change that up in this one? I think it's definitely possible. The Timberwolves, didn't have any injuries or anything like that to be worried about here. The Thunder have to feel great. SGA just being named the MVP. We'll see if that has any positive or negative effect on him in the next game. Now, I'm not super stoked about SGA being the MVP, if you ask me. And you can look at his box score for yesterday's game, for game one of this series, if you want to see why. He was 10 of 27 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, and 11 for 14 from the free throw line. The dude just baits way too many fouls. He's flopping and flailing and getting calls even when he doesn't even get touched. So that's just not a good look, in my opinion, for the NBA or just for basketball in general. Now, I liked what I saw from Chet Holmgren. He had a good game. Jalen Williams came out, had a very solid game one. Hartenstein played pretty well, putting up 12 points in his minutes. Dort not looking great there on the offensive end, but very good stuff once again from Caruso. Isaiah Joe played well. So a lot of positives for the Thunder. They're showing off their depth a lot in this series, and they, emerge unhurt, no problems there. So looking at the numbers here for game two, we see the Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 214.5. Minnesota 6-4 against the spread in the playoffs this year, 49-44 to the over this season. Oklahoma City 5-3 against the spread in their last 8 playoff games. They are 43-2 to the over this season. I think over 214.5 is, a little bit live in this game. It's not going anywhere near the pinned comment, but I do think it's live. In terms of a side, guys, I don't know. I'm back in the Timberwolves again. Give me the Timberwolves here at plus 7.5 as a very, very small lean, but I still don't love it. I don't know if the Thunder are going to get and SGA are going to get the same treatment from the officials in this game. If they do, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Timberwolves to do anything positive in this series. But looking at the props for this game, I've got some leans here that I think are much more reasonable. And first up, I like Julius Randle to have another good game. I'll take him over 19.5 points. Great in game one, putting up 28 very efficient points. I expect something similar in this one. Clearly, he causes some matchup problems there for the Thunder in his playoff struggles. Clearly, way, way in the rearview mirror. I also like Anthony Edwards here, under 24.5 points. I know he's in a bounce-back spot, but unless they start reffing the Thunder completely differently on the defensive end, we're going to see Ant struggle with how much they're allowed to body him and hold him and all that kind of crazy stuff. It's pretty nuts. So I'm hoping for a bounce back from Ant, but I think he's probably going to struggle again. I also like the under here on Hartenstein's rebounding. Under 7.5 boards. Doesn't feel like a spot that big guys are going to feast on here in the interior in this matchup. The Thunder kind of gang rebounding, not going to lead to their bigs getting, big rebounding totals. And Hartenstein doesn't always play all that many minutes. Last but not least here, guys, I'll take Caruso over 1.5 made three-pointers. He went 3 of 3 from distance in game one. He's going to get plenty of looks against a Minnesota team that would prefer that he be the shooter as opposed to SGA or any of their other shooters. And he's been knocking down his threes, so to knock in a couple seems pretty reasonable, and the price you can get on that bet is very, very nice. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and getting on that free email newsletter. It's absolutely free information straight to your inbox every single day, and it's pretty good information if I do say so myself. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Very much appreciated. We've had lots of new subscribers here recently, so that has been fantastic. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Appreciate you guys watching for sure. It's amazing. I really appreciate all the support we've been getting lately. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.